Hey, welcome to the podcast. This is The Surge Effect, and I'm your host, Mike Surge. This podcast will be talking about anything and everything, life in general to current events and past events, and all things about this beautiful and wonderful world that we live in. And this podcast, well, it'll probably have an effect on you. Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of The Surge Effect. In this episode of The Surge Effect, we're going to be talking about, of course, the assassination attempt of Donald J. Trump. But before we get into the videos and clips that I have for you today, I always like to mention two of our sponsors. Our first sponsor is Love My Legs, Owen Sound, Grey Bruce. Click on the link below. Head on over to their webpage, which is a Facebook page, and they will see all kinds of their leggings that they have to offer. And they are the only lifetime guarantee in the business. And number two is he shirts, she shirts. Same thing. Click on the link below, head on over to their webpage, and check out all the different clothing they have to offer, because they're more than just a t-shirt company, that's for sure. Also like to throw on two other items, of course. One of them is BCAA, which is branched chain amino acids. This one here is watermelon flavor. Click on the link below, head on over to Amazon and grab that. I also like to throw in the PodMic that I use. Cool little mic. Sounds great. It's good for vlogging or YouTubing or whatever you want to do, because the sound is good. Anyway, listen, let's get into it and start off this podcast. All right, so the first little clip I am going to show you is, of course, all the rhetoric that occurred with let's
talk about the
Biden.
Conversation this has started, and it's really about.
Here's a little clip here about Biden, and who's been interviewed here on Nightly News, and what he said just a few short days ago. And of course, now he tries to do a little bit of backtracking, but this is what he says.
About language, what we say out loud, and the consequences of those. You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that.
I didn't say crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was, there was very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing. Focus on his policies. Focus on the number of lies he told in the debate. Focus. I mean, there's a whole range of things that look.
Backtracking now, because what he said, right? And then he turns around and says, "Oh yeah, but I didn't mean to say that though. What I meant to say was," and then they start doing this backtracking business, and then they wonder why, bad shit happens to people. And here's another little clip I'm going to show you here. This was actually, I reposted. This is from James Woods, the famous actor. Anyway, this is on X, and this is what all these people had to say. All these people say all these nasty things, and they wonder why. Ooh, what do you mean he was almost shot? He was almost shot and killed. Here we go.
You got to be ready to throw a punch. Well, you have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
Feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school.
If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
No, I wish we were in high school. I could take him behind the gym.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you...
And shortly after that occurred, actually, a guy actually went to Kavanaugh's place, and they caught him before he did it, but he was going to try to kill Kavanaugh.
You will pay the price.
We're going to go in there, we're going to...
This is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
I don't know what's so funny about that, because once again, people talk about hateful rhetoric and what people say. Words mean stuff, and these people are saying bad things, you know. Doesn't turn out well, because what happened was this, and I'm going to show you this little clip right here. Of course, everyone saw it, but this is Trump right after he got shot.
No. No.
That's an iconic picture of Trump, of course, saying, "Fight, fight, fight." And that picture there says it all. Same thing. Fight, fight, fight. And there's another iconic picture. That picture there will go down in history as probably the picture. It's going to be on like 100 years from now. It's an iconic picture. People can say whatever they want, but this guy just got shot in the side of the head and gets up and says, "Fight, fight, fight." I'm telling you, it's impressive. Whether you like the guy, whether you don't like the guy or his policies or whatever the case may be, that's impressive for sure. So let's just show you another video clip. We'll just keep moving on. This is from an actual eyewitness.
And watch
he was literally talking about the rooftop when this all occurred, and this is what he had to say.
And listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know. But we noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, "Hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle." And the police were like, "Huh, what?" You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, "Hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling." And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes?
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes?
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful, because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, since the last couple of days, of course, since this has passed, several of the videos have come out in regards to, obviously, this what's transpired. So here's one here that you may or may not have seen online. And you can hear the people yelling in the background. This is about less than a minute long. You'll hear people yelling in the background, and you'll actually see the shooter on the top of the building.
Good job. I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be at some beautiful places.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down, see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And son, I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a senator.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look, there he is.
Easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people, criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people.
The people.
Right on the roof. It's much tougher than it happens.
You went right on the roof, big guy.
Person up on top, person on the roof, gun on the roof, right? They're really like yelling this stuff out. This went on for a little while. So these are the snipers from the local area, of course. I don't think these are Secret Service. These are from the local area. These are snipers, and they're literally watching the area where that guy's crawling on the roof. This is how it transpired.
When I left office, that was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services.
So they've been looking down there for a while, for 42 seconds before the shot rang out.
Comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened.
So right there is when, of course, the shots rang out, and everyone else knows what happened after that. So this one here, a lot of people may or may not have seen this one, but from behind the scenes, watch the Secret Service guys behind here, either before or just when it occurred. Just watch the body language of this Secret Service guy. You'll see him here come off from the left to the right in a second of this video.
Country, probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened.
I'm not sure why he bent down. I'm not sure why he did that, but he did. And here's another video. This is whether people believe in stuff or whether they don't, but of a higher power or divine intervention or whatever. But the American flag, a lot of people were commenting on this, saying it was looked like an eagle. Some people say it looked like an angel. But this flag got tangled up at the Trump rally before Trump even came out on the stage, and people took pictures and video of it, and this is what it looked like right here. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. Coincidence? Coincidental? Not sure. So here is another little video I'm going to show you. This fella here, Corey Mills, was a sniper. He is a representative now, of course. I think he's a senator. And yeah, he was a sniper in the military. He's going to explain a little bit of stuff here. Now, when he starts talking, anyone that does any hunting or anyone that's, you know, has a tree stand out in the woods, you know why you have a tree stand? Because you're on the high ground. I'm not in the military, and most people would know that your advantage is when you're on the high ground. High ground should be covered, especially a Secret Service should be looking at that high ground. Doesn't matter with the radius that they have to cover. High ground, low ground, you want to be on the high ground. That's just the way it is. Anyway, listen to Mr. Mills here, Corey Mills, talk about the situation.
Up as a counter sniper, we put together what we call range fans for our range card. We usually keep it right next to us. It's an overlay of the area, usually a satellite image, and it has our 100-yard line, our 200-yard line, our 300-yard line, and we identify the buildings and the areas for potential threat in those, so that when you do identify a threat, you don't have to actually what they call milling out, which is to determine the distance of that actual target. You have it within your range fan. You can quickly glance down and say roughly 200. and you can dial your elevation, look at your windage, make your call, and then fire your shot. Look, at 230 yards, which is what this is being estimated by, we have to bear in mind something. An AR-15, or any rifle of that matter, has what they call minutes of angle, which means what the capability of the rifle is. A standard rifle, which is a basic rifle's capabilities, is 1 MOA, which means for every 100 yards is 1-inch grouping capabilities. You're talking about that at 230 yards, the average shooter could actually point at a target, fire 5 to 6 rounds, and somewhere within that group would be about a 2.3-inch grouping at 230 yards. The average life-size man target is a 20 by 40, 20 shoulder to shoulder, 40 waist to head. President Trump obviously is a much larger guy. He's a much taller guy. So it is by miracle and divine intervention that he is not killed today. And so there was a failure in the breach of security. I will identify that immediately. I will tell you that we always take the high ground for your overwatch positions. You always look at what the ability is to see the crowd so that you can mitigate threats at an elevated position. And one of the areas why you look at high-angle fire shooting is also the direction and trajectory of the bullet itself. It's not like shooting at a flat trajectory where you have over-penetration and can get other individuals. This is going to eventually just hit into the ground. So the oversight on this is that you're talking about 230 yards, which is nothing for a shot, adjacent to the stage of the president, and there was no one on that building. No one, even if you're not going to put anyone in the building, standing next to the building to ensure there's no access to the building. So I'm glad that the speaker is going to do an investigation on this because I think that it's warranted. I think that I applaud, again, what the Secret Service detail had done, what the counter-sniper CS.
All right, so that gives you a little brief understanding of an actual sniper and that did it for a living in the military, and how he explained stuff. But here's another little, just a photo shot here of the media and what they had to say when Trump was shot. I mean, they just keep doing this nonsense right up to the last minute kind of thing, right? So let's look at some of these headings. Trump escorted away after loud noises at PA rally. That's Washington Post. Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after popping noises heard at Pennsylvania rally. That's NBC News. Trump removed from stage by the Secret Service after loud noises startles former president and the crowd. And Donald Trump escorted off the stage by Secret Service during a rally after loud noises ring out in the crowd. That's ABC News. And then MAGA responds with outrage after Donald Trump injured at Pennsylvania rally. And Secret Service rushed Trump off the stage after he falls at the rally. So once again, media is all over the map. Don't know what's going on with that, but it's the media, right? Mainstream media, MSM. It's just they just beat to their own drum. And then of course we have our leader of the opposition, Pierre Poilievre, and what he had to say. And people lost their minds over this one. Pierre Poilievre posted the other day after the shooting and said, it was July 13th when he posted, he said, "I condemn in the strongest of terms the attempted murder of former President Trump today. I am relieved he is safe. My prayers are with other innocent people harmed or killed by this heinous act. And I am also happy the suspected shooter is dead. Democracy must prevail." People just jumped all over him because he said, "I'm also happy that the suspected shooter is dead." That shooter killed an innocent man and wounded a couple other people as well. That innocent 50-year-old man dove in front of his daughter and wife and took a bullet for them, saved their lives. But that 20-year-old shooter that tried to kill President killed that innocent 50-year-old man as well. We don't need people like that in this world, folks, because you know what? If you didn't do it to those people, you could do it to your family or some other innocent person. Because this is what these sick, twisted people do for kicks. They just they're not helping out society in any which way, shape, or form. And why would you want to take another person's life? Why another human being on this planet? They have children, grandchildren. They have, things that they want to do in this life and things that they have done in this life. And somebody wants to snuff them out because they don't agree with the way they're doing things. They don't agree with their politics or whatever. It's like, how crazy are you? It's insane. Anyway, this is just literally less than 2 days after, and 2 days after, and Trump went to the Republican National Convention, the RNC. He showed up, of course. This was the very first night, and here is a girl that came on the stage and spoke a little bit about Trump. and her name was Amber Rose. And this is what she had to say. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's about 5 minutes long, but I will play enough of it so you can kind of get the gist of what she thinks of Trump. Here we go.
Please welcome Amber Rose from South Philadelphia.
Hello, my name is Amber Rose. I'm a model and entrepreneur. Thank you. But most importantly, I'm a mother. My whole world revolves around providing for my children, keeping them safe, and giving them an opportunity for a better life. That's something that unites all American parents, whether we're Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, or liberals. We all want a better country for our children. But I'm here tonight to tell you, no matter your political background, that the best chance we have to give our babies a better life is to elect Donald Trump President of the United States. Now, you may be wondering why I'm up here telling you this. I'm no politician, and I don't want to be. But I do care about the truth. And the truth is that the media has lied to us about Donald Trump. I know this because for a long time I believed those lies, so I'm here to set the record straight. The first person I knew who supported Donald Trump was my father. I was shocked. My entire family is racially diverse. And I believed the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump. People have to do their research. I watched all the rallies, and I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters.
So there you go. I'm not going to play it. Like I said, I'm not going to play that whole clip because I just want to show you a couple other clips of a couple other speakers. One's Mark Robinson, who is a great speaker, Lieutenant Governor. And last one's going to be Vivek Ramaswamy. But this one here is Mark Robinson. I'm going to play this for you here. But anyway, when she was talking about everyone says that Trump was a racist and everything else. Well, see, this is what happens. Well, now they can't say racist anymore because that's all fizzled out. So now they got to say something else, right? Say that he's Hitler and everything else and all these other crazy things because, hey, people always say, hey, if you could go back in time and kill Hitler, would you kill Hitler? People go, of course I would, because, you know, save millions of lives. Well, when people keep drilling that into your head, then you get these crazy people come out and then they try to take shots at people that are in charge of Trump or people that are in power. So, all right, so here's Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson.
Welcome the Lieutenant Governor and current candidate for governor of North Carolina, Mark Robinson.
Thank you. First and foremost, I want to give thanks to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving us my life and health and strength, allowing me to be here and allowing us to live in this blessed and prosperous land. I am Mark Robinson. I am the first black lieutenant governor of North Carolina. And come November, I plan on being the first black governor of North Carolina. But I am not one of the political elite. I grew up poor as the 9th of 10 kids in Greensboro with an alcoholic father who beat my mother. I love to tell you that I graduated from high school, found success, never worried about money again, but I can't. I lost 2 jobs, 2 manufacturing jobs because of NAFTA, which, by the way, Joe Biden voted for. Politicians in D.C. made bad decisions. People like me suffered. I lost my car and my house. I was desperate. But you know, my story isn't unique. A couple of months ago in my travels, I stopped at a gas station. As I was leaving, a man walked out with a beard, and he looked very stressed. He got in his car, and I could see him holding an envelope. My heart dropped, because years ago, I held one just like it. It was bankruptcy papers. I could see the fear on his face. And it took me back to lying awake at night with that gnawing worrying, debating which bills weren't going to get paid. Unfortunately, many families today are having that same experience. Under Joe Biden, grocery prices have skyrocketed, and gas has nearly doubled. In North Carolina, factories just like the one I worked at are closing, leaving families feeling hopeless. But there is hope, and I'm proof. My wife and I never gave up. We kept our faith. We worked hard and made it through those tough times. Now I stand before you on the verge of becoming the first black governor of North Carolina. As governor, I will not forget where I came from or the struggles of the people I meet. And you know, there's someone else who will fight just as hard for you. President Donald J. Trump.
Great speaker, Mark. And he, ever get a chance to listen to him on any of the social media and stuff, or follow him or check him out, he's a great speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway, here's last one I'm going to play for you is Vivek Ramaswamy. He spoke yesterday on the second day of the convention. Did a great job. So here we go.
Gentlemen, now please welcome businessman Vivek Ramaswamy of Ohio.
Love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the warm welcome. It's good to be back in Milwaukee. This time last year, I was a candidate for U.S. president, and I'm proud to say that I achieved the impossible, which is that most of you actually know how to say my name by now. So thank you for that. It's good to be back. We're in the middle of a national identity crisis right now. Faith, patriotism, hard work, and family have disappeared, only to be replaced by race, gender, sexuality, and climate. But we're not going to win this election just by criticizing the other side. We're going to win this by standing for our own vision of who we really are. What does it mean to be a Republican in the year 2024? What does it mean to be an American in the year 2024? It means we believe in the ideals of 1776. It means we believe in merit, that you get ahead in this country, not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contributions. It means we believe in the rule of law. And I say this as the kid of legal immigrants to this country. That means your first act of entering this country cannot break the law. That is why we will seal the southern border on day one. Thank you. It means the people who we elect to run the government ought to be the ones who actually run the government, not unelected bureaucrats in the deep state. These are not black ideas or white ideas. They are not even Democrat ideas or Republican ideas. They are American ideas that we fought a revolution to secure. And the man who will revive these ideals in the United States of America is your next president, the 47th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. If you want to seal the border, vote Trump. If you want to restore law and order in this country, vote Trump. If you want to reignite the economy in this country, vote Trump. If you want to revive national pride in this country, vote Trump. If you want to make America great again, vote Trump. But there is one more reason I'm going to ask you to vote Trump, and it's the most important one. It's the one the media won't talk about, but it's the truth. Donald Trump is the president who will actually unite this country, not through empty words, but through action. Because you know what? Success is unifying. Excellence is unifying. That's who we are as Americans. That's who we've always been. To those of you watching this at home tonight, I'd like to deliver a message that the media doesn't want you to hear from the Republican Party. Our message to black Americans is this. The media has tried to convince you for decades that Republicans don't care about your communities, but we do. We want for you what we want for every American. Safe neighborhoods, clean streets, good jobs, a better life for your children, and a justice system that treats everyone equally, regardless of your skin color and regardless of your political beliefs. Our message to every legal immigrant in this country is this. You're like my parents. You deserve the opportunity to secure a better life for your children in America. But our message to illegal immigrants is also this. We will return you to your country of origin, not because you're all bad people, but because you broke the law. And the United States of America was founded on the rule of law. Our message to millennials, speaking as one myself, yes, it's true. Our government sold us a false bill of goods with the Iraq War and the 2008 financial crisis, loading up our national debt that falls on our generation's shoulders, telling us that if we took out college loans, we'd somehow get a head start on the American dream when it hasn't worked out that way. But we can't just be cynical about our country because the United States of America is still the last best hope that we have, and we deserve a better class of politician, one who actually tells us the truth, even if it comes with some mean tweets from time to time. And our message to Gen Z is this. You're going to be the generation that actually saves this country. You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative. Say you want to get married, have kids, teach them to believe in God and pledge allegiance to their country. Because you know what? Fear has been infectious in this country, but courage can be contagious too. That too is what it means to be an American. And you know what? If you're at home and you disagree with everything I just said, our message to you is this. We will still defend to the death your right to say it, because that is who we are as Americans. We are the country where we can disagree like hell and still get together at the dinner table at the end of it. That is the America I know. That is the America we miss. We do not have to be ancient Rome. We don't have to be this nation in decline. We can still be a nation in our ascent. A nation whose best days, not in some fake politician way, but in a true way, a nation whose best days are actually still ahead of us. Still on our way to that shining city on a hill, that country where no matter who you are, or where your parents came from, or what your skin color is, or how long your last name is, that you will still get ahead in this country with your own hard work, your own commitment, your own dedication, and that you know what? You are free to speak your mind at every step of the way. That is the American dream. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what reunited us after the Civil War. That is what won us 2 world wars and the Cold War. That is what still gives hope to the free world. And if we can revive that dream over group identity and victimhood and grievance, then nobody in the world, not a nation, not a corporation, not a virus, not China, is going to defeat us. That is what American exceptionalism is all about. And that is what we will revive this November when we send Donald J. Trump back to the White House. Thank you all. God bless you and your families. And may God bless our United States of America. Thank you.
So there's Vivek Ramaswamy. Guy did an amazing job. And that's it in a nutshell, just for some of the things that transpired a couple days ago for the attempted assassination on Donald J. Trump. Like I've always said, don't like the guy, don't hate the guy. It's policies. If people put in policies that make your life better, not worse, those are the people that you need to vote into office. Same here in Canada. Look at the flag, Canadian flag. I'm Canadian through and through. I'm a patriot. I love this country. But you have to vote people in that you believe have your best interest at heart because of their policies. Very, very important. Always because of their policies. Anyway, until next time, everyone, that's it for today's podcast. I hope you all have yourself a great day. And until next time, cheers. This episode sponsored by He Shirts, She Shirts. Go to www.heshirtsseshirts.ca. Just type in the letters TSA, The Surge Effect. When you check out, type in TSA for your coupon and receive 10% off your next purchase. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, everybody.